most of the speculums were speculums that fit in the mouth on the bars. And it wasn't until really 1900 that the McPherson speculum was patented and mass produced. And that was the first speculum that had gum plates on it. That had incisor plates on it. All the speculums up until that time rested on the bars of the mouth or the gums. And so when we got into the 1800s, things began to change dramatically. The horse numbers increased exponentially all around the world because horses were the major source of transportation of all goods up until the late 1900s, after the Civil War in the United States. And the number of horses increased, especially in the cities around the world. But the automobile was not far behind. And once we got the locomotive, the automobile, and the bicycle, horse numbers began to drop. So they increased up until about 1900, and then they soon dropped off after that. This is just another slide this slide 22 that shows that aging horses by their teeth has been a common thing for veterinarians to do for years. There's an interesting story that goes along with Sydney Galvani. Everybody's heard about Galvani's groove that occurs on the corner incisor tooth, but Sydney Galvani was actually an Australian that migrated to England in the late 1800s. He settled around Newmarket in England, and he made a living aging horses by their teeth. And he was also sort of a horse tamer and horse trainer. But he was a very outgoing know-it-all. And he wrote a book in the 1880s that said that you could, he had a special technique for aging horses by their teeth, and he was never wrong. And he could age any horse from birth until 30 years of age. And this technique had, again, it was accurate 100%. And it's a book full of diagrams of horses' teeth and then testimonials from people talking about how accurate Galvani was with aging horses by their teeth. And he also offered a course that you could pay him to follow him around as an apprentice, and he would show you his technique. But you had to sign a card that said that you would never disclose this technique to anybody else under penalty of the law. You had to swear that you would never share Galvani's secrets with anybody. And then several years after that, he ended up printing this book on how to tell horses by their teeth. And it was a bestseller around the turn of the century. And it's interesting that things really never changed. Some of the same diagrams that Galvani used in his book were in Sisson-Grossman's anatomy book that was used to teach veterinary students up until the 1970s. Same diagrams. And it, again, that was one of the things that stimulated Richardson and Lane to do research into how accurate is aging horses by their teeth. And they proved that Galvani wasn't quite as accurate as he thought he was.
If he was alive today, he'd probably have his own YouTube channel.
That's right.
A celebrity.
Yeah.